All right, I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning presentation. It's a great honor to be able to do this presentation with David Munoz. And we want to talk about 2021, identifying and achieving goals by planning, research, and execution. David and I have been working on this presentation. I think we've got a good one for you. And David, before we get started, anything that you would like to share?
Well, first of all, Dan, thanks for the opportunity to jump on with you and really share some ideas. It's really no one's perfect at this, but certainly it's share some ideas. So it's my pleasure to do that. And we're doing it because, as some of you may have seen one of the slides, where a lot of people when they start the new year, they are either going to be fitting in three categories: the drummers, the dreamers, or the doers. And of course, the drummers are the ones that make a lot of noise and say it. And I want to tell everyone before we start, Dan, that I'm an expert at two of the three, the drummers and the dreamers. So what we want to do as time goes on is try to refine our skill sets to make sure that we're doers. And our attempt will be to try to share some of our thoughts, Dan, to try to empower ourselves to make 2021 a year that we can actually do things by obviously identifying and achieving goals by planning, research, and execution.
Absolutely. And as you can see on the opening slide, David has a subtitle called Marketing is Key. We'll get into a little bit more of that as we go along. And there are just two basic goals that we believe everyone in Synergy Worldwide needs to focus on. Now, you can focus on those goals, but if you're not doing the planning, the research, and the other things that are necessary, they're not going to make things happen. And I've always shared this. You can leave that up, David. That's fine. I've always shared this, that marketing is letting people know what you do. Effective marketing is letting people know how you can help them address their needs and concerns. And David introduced us to this concept of selling. And, there's the traditional selling where I'm just trying to sell you a product. What I love about what David did in his presentation on straight line selling is he helped us understand the real aspect of what selling is, and that is the transfer of certainty and emotion. And if you combine effective marketing with the skill set that David shared with us with regards to selling, that transfer of your certainty and your emotion, and do it effectively through effective marketing and learning the skill of selling, you're going to see some very significant increases in your synergy business.
If I may add, Dan, one of the big steps that we will share in some slides here, and I encourage folks to take out their notepad because some of the things we're going to share are really, really key, as you say, to their marketing strategy to be able to get people into the door. That's the really key. And once you have them in the door or in front of you, the effective marketing, of course, is, as you say, letting people know how you can help them. And then comes the straight line selling, which is a transition of certainty and emotion, with your emotion, of course, being a product of the product. So absolutely, that's going to be something we're going to talk about because you need the tools to be able to know how to do it.
Correct. Now, this is your first goal. I mean, if you're really serious about your synergy business, you've got to treat it like a business. And there is no business, as we've experienced in the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020, businesses cannot operate without cash flow. The government can operate without cash flow because they can print money. But we as individuals in business can't do that, so we have to have cash flow. And cash flow comes from customers. And this is really your primary, Dave, go back to that.
Sure.
This is your primary goal, is to create a large enough customer base to create somewhere between $300 to $500 in cash flow through elite rebates to support your synergy business. You can certainly create more than $500 in cash flow. No one's going to stop you. You can scale this as high as you want to, but your objective, your first and primary goal, is to be able to create $300 to $500 in cash flow through elite rebates that are achieved through your customer base. That's going to support your synergy business. And David, if you go to the next slide, there's no sense having goals unless there's benefits to those goals. So if you create $300 to $500 in monthly cash flow, the first benefit is that it provides you with cash flow to operate your synergy business through those elite rebates, and it provides you with at least $100 per month to begin to effectively market your synergy business to grow your customer base. One of the things that we want to show you in upcoming Saturday presentations is how you can effectively take $100 per month. Once you've established your monthly cash flow, take $100 per month and put that into effective marketing strategies that will help you continue to gain customers. Plus, the other thing that it does is it creates a business story for you, that as you help other people improve their health and they're looking for some type of home-based business because they need the additional cash flow to make their situation work, you can easily say to them, well, I've got a home-based business. I'm generating between $300 to $500 a month in cash flow. And since you have an interest in helping people improve their health, would you like me to spend some time with you and show you how you could do the same thing? And now you've got a business story that helps you to attract potential distributors, which then goes into your second goal that you really need to set for 2021. And that second goal is to help at least 2 distributors, ideally one on your left-hand side and one on your right-hand side, to achieve the gold level in Synergy worldwide. If you do that, that's going to give you benefits. The first benefit is that it creates organizational volume, which then allows you to create your residual income. As you create organizational volume by helping one person on your left and one person on your right, and you can certainly do this with more than one person on your left and right, but ideally make the commitment to find one person on your left, one on your right, that you can work with them to help them create their cash flow for their synergy business, which is creating organizational volume as they get their customers and create elite rebates and cash flow through elite rebates, and then help them replicate that same process. That creates for you residual income through basic commissions, mega matches, leadership bonuses, and you don't need to worry about rank advancement, because as they become gold in Synergy worldwide, that's at least 9,000 CV of volume on your left and right hand sides. That's now helping you do your own rank advancements, which is going to help you earn trips from Synergy worldwide. And plus, it gives you a duplicating process that helps you to expand your Synergy business, because each one of those individuals can replicate the same thing. Work with people on their left and right hand sides to help them create their customer base, to help them create their cash flow for their synergy business, which creates organizational volume for them, which then provides a business story that they can share with others to help them attract business builders to them. And it becomes this repeating process that you can use to grow and expand your business, because it's focused on just 2 primary goals: cash flow and reaching the gold level in your synergy business. So
Dan,
David, anything you want to share?
I sure do, Dan, especially about elite rebates you mentioned earlier, which is goal number 1, and that has really helped, in my case, of course, fund the marketing efforts that I want to make, which, we'll go over some of the market efforts in a few minutes. And those that just want a little story, when I first started in network marketing, Dan, this concept for me was very foreign, and I needed to learn how to create residual income, because there's a difference between income and salary. And of course, when you come from a corporate world, as I did, you really, really get addicted. It's almost like a drug to getting that weekly check or that bi-weekly check. I'm not saying for anyone should quit their job, but certainly there is a transition process if you have a goal, if you have a desire not to depend or enrich someone else's dream but your own. So the elite rebate is just the first step of creating a residual income. With the elite rebate that we get, Dan, of course, everyone knows the story. My wife was very skeptical at the very beginning, and now she has a monthly payment of her Mustang, which wasn't brand new, or was a used car, but at the same time, it's about, I think, about $300 a month, and that's paid for through the efforts that, of course, are through our business in Synergy Worldwide. Now, when that happens, you not only have money to Elite Rebates to work on your future marketing efforts, but then you have extra money to be able to address certain goals that you wanted, and convince, of course, the people around you that you're for real. And when you share your experience and your success with others, that's where it becomes even more interesting, Dan, because then you're helping, as you say, other people achieve their goals by helping them come to a goal level. But it's hard for them to come to it unless you're in it yourself, and it's hard for them to be serious unless you're serious. So then you hold them by the hand, you show them the process. And in time, it does create duplication, and the synergy organization grows. So thank you for sharing that goal number 2, Dan.
You're welcome, David. And before you move on to the next slide, I just want to come back, and you've got a story that you could share with people, David. I don't know if you realize it, but you could say to people, hey, how would you like to have, or you could ask a question. Do you have a monthly car payment? That's a question. Purpose. Yeah, I do. How may I ask how much it is? I don't want to be forward in that, but could you just tell me how much it is? And if they say, around $300, you say, you know what? I've got a home-based business. My wife was skeptical about my home-based business, but we set a goal. She has a beautiful Mustang. The payment is $300 a month. My home-based business pays that payment for her every month. She's now completely on board with what I'm doing because she can see the power of what I'm doing.
Exactly.
If you're interested, I can show you how you can do 2 things. Help other people improve their health, and through that process, create for yourself an income stream that could maybe take care of your monthly car payment or beyond.
Correct.
Interested?
And of course, what we want to do, Dan, this morning is show everyone the tools that they can use, that we can use, all of us, to make that dream become a reality and put in effect and be different in our 2021 year in business. So let me move on, Dan. Let's see here. So if I may say, Dan, what I was mentioning earlier is Elite Rebates is just one part of the puzzle here. When your business starts growing, you start experience different profit centers. Elite Rebate is one. For those of us that have seen or know about our commission structure here at Synergy Worldwide, we know it consists also of basic commissions, which is the reward you get for helping others. And you're going to be getting a percentage of your weak leg. And for that, there's a lot of material on it on our Synergy family website. You also get fast start bonuses when you bring people into the business. And depending how they start, you get a check within a couple of days in your account. One of the beautiful things I love, Dan, is the mega matches. That's what really opened my eyes to what the network marketing, the right network marketing company and the right network marketing product is all about. When you help others and they start getting basic commissions, then you mega match them. And that's pretty cool. When you see a check coming in every month, or part of your commission is based upon the efforts of others, they're excited, you're excited, and of course you get compensated simply by doing a little bit of work front end. So there's a lot more leadership bonuses, another aspect of it, but just to give you an aspect of the kind of cash flow and potential that we have in our business.
Absolutely. And that's why I talk about, your goal is to get to the gold level and teach one person on your left and one person on your right who's really serious about building their synergy business to get to the gold level. Because if they do that, then those additional areas of cash flow, basic commissions, leadership bonuses, and most importantly, mega matches really begin to take effect. And if you duplicate that process, those things drive the residual income stream that leads you to financial independence.
Dan, I'm going to move on to the next slide because this is where the rubber meets the road, really, and and I have, of course, challenges with my screen here, but I won't touch it. So what the rubber meets the road is, the 2021 planning. In order for us to be able to implement our plans, we need a strategy. Just like in the straight line system, we need a recipe. The strategy consists of identifying our marketing strategy. That's the very first step. Then we need resources to be able to tap into to try to see what tools we're going to use, like building a house. We start with the planning, and then before the house is even one nail is put in, we have to have our planning, our total plan completed. Then we start putting in the pieces, and of course, the first piece I'd say is our Synergy family. I don't know if you're like me, but I visit our Synergy family frequently because I need these resources to, I say, borrow ideas or steal ideas or share ideas so that I can make my plan work. When we talk about the things we're going to talk about in a few minutes, Dan, and share with folks that are listening, you're going to be seeing some resources, additional resources that I will share with you. All these resources can be learned and mastered through YouTube because there's always topics in YouTube that you can tap into if you want to learn something new to help your business. Again, there's other resources that are just fantastic books that are a part of our Synergy family recommendation. As you can see, we've talked at one time or another about one or all of these books. And of course, the online resources for grown-ups, it has adults here as grown-ups that you could use to research, Google, the search tools that you have when something is just, you want to just read up on something. The latest research that you do on nitric oxide therapy or weight loss or heart disease or energy, whatever your marketing strategy is. But certainly then in our line of business, we have to keep up, and it's a process of continuous learning. So we have to maximize on what we know. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And you talked about YouTube from a learning standpoint, from the online resources for adults. There's Udemy. You can go into Udemy. You can say, okay, I want to learn how to actually do videos on YouTube. I haven't set the date for it yet, but one of the things that I want to go back to as one of my goals for 2021 is consistently putting up new videos on YouTube that will attract people to me. Now, I've found a resource that will fit into the budget of $100 a month. I think it's $47 a month. But that resource, I'm going to start my free trial on Monday. I'm going to start putting up on a weekly basis videos, and I've chosen that resource to try it out because it's going to make it faster. The hard part, not necessarily is writing, but as you know, when you go to do the YouTube video, it's all the graphics and the things that you have to create that correspond with what your words are. Well, this resource tool does all that for you. You load in your script, and then it creates the video for you. You can do a voiceover. Again, if the thing works like it shows that it's supposed to, that will speed my process immensely, which will allow me to put up a video on a weekly basis. Now, some people out there might be saying, well, that's a skill. Well, yes, it is a skill. It's a learned skill. Everyone can learn that skill. This program makes it easy. So the hardest thing that you'll most likely have to do is learn how to write a script. Well, there's other places you can find scripts. There's what are called PLRs, private licensing resources that you can use, that if you don't want to write your script, you can subscribe to a source like that, and again, get a written script, and then you just modify it and then load that. So anyways, that's one of the things I want to plan to show people. I'm hoping to do that here in the first month of January so that I can, again, give people effective resources to learn new skills to help them create marketing strategies that effectively address the needs of people. And in that process, it becomes a magnet that attracts people to you.
One of the things we were talking about, Dan, as we were preparing these slides, is that we wanted this presentation to be interactive also.
Sure.
So for those who are listening at this time, if something comes to your mind in a question form, not necessarily an addition, but a question form, that you see something that you have questions about, please feel free to just unmute yourself and ask the question. If we don't mind, this process, this education, this webinar is so important that we get our year started off right, that we want to be able to address the question, because the same question you have in your mind right now can be in the mind of the others. And maybe what we have to share, instead of your benefiting yourself, if you ask the question at another time, it can benefit everyone. So feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question. Dan, you
Hello there,
mentioned.
Timothy here.
Sure, Timothy. Tell me.
I've got some people on my site that went onto the site and bought products. I tried to contact them by phone and by email without success.
Okay.
I don't know if my letter to them is not good enough or if I need help, but I have not been able to communicate with these 3, 4, 5 people who bought products from my website, and I cannot get no communication back with them.
Dan, can I answer that question for Timothy?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Timothy, I hear you. I have had that issue, and I'm going to share with you in an upcoming slide a strategy that will give you at least 50 to 60% more chances they're going to get back to you. It's going to make you smile. So bear with me a little bit, and I'll share that with you.
And smiling already.
All right, good. All right. So there's one more thing, Dan, I wanted to add to this slide. You mentioned PLR articles, and please make a note of that, those of you that are listening, because PLR is something that I plan to learn. And also I wanted to mention Zoom. If you have not mastered or learned how to work with Zoom and your clients, and Timothy, that's one of the things I'm going to mention. Zoom is a beautiful tool you have in your back pocket that when you talk to the client, I'm going to share with you how you can wow them a little bit. But you have to know how to use Zoom, and if you can, get the free account on Zoom and make it part of your toolbox. Anything else on here, Dan?
No.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about what Timothy's question was, the client trust and retention. So what Timothy is talking about is, how do we retain clients? How do we keep them coming? Because that's one of the things I want to also get much better at. I want to know that if I went through the process of marketing, spending money on marketing, building up my business, and getting residual, I want that income to keep coming. I want to know how I can convince customers to get on AutoShip, and how I can convince them that what they did, they can actually have a lifetime benefit, as we do. We that are listening to this webinar, we have a lifetime benefit of good health, and we want to transmit that to our customers. As a result, they will trust us. They will know we're real. And these are some of the tools that I want to share with you. First of all, send a thank you note. I pause on purpose, that I want that to sink in. It's made an incredible difference in my business. Send a simple thank you note in the mail to them. Totally unexpected. Don't tell them you're sending it. Just say thank you for letting me or trusting me to help you. That's it. Don't add stuff on it. Just say, dear Mr. Smith, dear Mrs. Smith, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce you to Senator, or introduce you to, or trust me to help you. That's it. Let that make a difference. 2, Dan, you're great at this, newsletters and emails. Dan makes it a point every single week to send that out and connect with his customers, so he's continuously, they're probably looking forward to hearing his information. Social media posts, and have fun with it, folks. Have fun with it. If you have a Facebook page and something good happens to you and you want to share it, or maybe there's the seasons, or possibly there's a article that came out that you want to share, you can use your social media posts just to stay connected with your friends and people following you. Text broadcasting, something I'm using part of my business plan this year. And text broadcasting is nothing more than using a text broadcasting service. They charge you pennies for each text, and you create either a video or you create a text. The video sometimes is more effective, and broadcast it out to all of the people that you have come in contact with. So these are tools that you're going to use if you choose to use them, if you choose to learn them, and if we choose to master them. Our business will continue to grow. Calling them on their birthdays. If you in a casual conversation, yeah, my birthday's this date, and all you're doing is doing step number 1 or number 2 in the straight line selling is establishing rapport. When you establish rapport with your customers, they may share things about you with their birthdays, their pets, their kids, what's their values. Make a note of it. Know your customer and bring that up when you're going to follow up with them. Make sure you have those notes in front of you so you could talk to them and engage with them, reconnect with them, reestablish that trust. Synergy promotions. We have been told that Synergy is going to be doing some really, really great promotions. As we know, we currently have promotions regarding free shipping. We can share that with our clients. And of course, there's going to be cash incentives that they're introducing later on. I don't want to go into detail because I don't know the details, but certainly keep that in mind so you can share with your clients. And as I said earlier, getting personal and sharing stories, telling customers when you talk to them over the phone, don't try to sell them necessarily. Tell them you appreciate them. You appreciate the fact that they have valued their health as much as you value their health as well as your own. So, Timothy, I hope this is helpful. It is helpful to those that are listening. These are nuggets, valuable nuggets that you can take into your pocket and use them throughout the year and make them part of your business. Because if you do, it will make a difference. Just a quick story, Dan, then I want you to say something. But when I call my customers and I say, hey, happy birthday, it's so cool. I just wanted to call you and say you've made it another year. Congratulations. And of course, they'll say, wow, I can't believe it. And I'll say, yeah, when was the last time a health and wellness guy called you on your birthday? Never. Okay. So it makes a joke out of it. It's just pretty cool. And so I just wanted to share what my experience has been when I call customers on their birthday. Get a spreadsheet, by the way, and start putting customers' birthdays on that spreadsheet and then put it on your calendar in the year order. When it comes up, it is so much fun to call them on their birthday. Dan?
Sure. I want to go back to the first thing that you talked about, David, on the thank you notes or thank you card that you send to a person. Make it handwritten.
Yes.
You certainly can find thank you cards, or you can certainly use services that provide you with thank you cards. But quite frankly, you most likely, for a lot of people, don't have that many clients or customers that you're adding to your business model every month. So if you're adding 2 or 3 or 4, if you're fortunate to add 10, well, take the time to handwrite a thank you. And Timothy, this goes back to your question to David. Every person who's bought from you has an address. So you've got access to that. If they bought through Synergy Worldwide, you can go into your back office, you can look at your orders, you can hover over orders, and the drop-down menu will, click on the second one of the drop-down menu, and you can see the invoice for every one of your customers. You can see the shipping address that it went to. That will give you the address that you need, and I would then send them a thank you note. Dear so-and-so, tried to call you on the phone just because I want to thank you for investing in your health. And if there's any way that I can help you, please call me. So whatever you want to say for a salutation, Timothy, and then your phone number, and it can be as simple as that. And you've got the things that you have there. And I can tell you, if you do a handwritten envelope where you handwrite the address on the envelope, 9 out of 10 people will open that because it's not a a quote, what looks like something that came from a promotional bank, they try and make it look like, it's been, nicely done. But if you just send a simple envelope, your return address, they might not know who you are, but if you handwrite everything on the envelope, 9 out of 10 people will open that thing, and that will provide you with the contact that you're looking for. Then it's up to them to respond.
Okay, one last comment on that. Go ahead.
That's good. There's only one hitch on that. No mail is going from Barbados to America unless you send it by UPS, which is $125 per envelope.
Okay. So then you use a service, and David can most likely hook you up with a service that
Yes,
can
I
do
can.
that for you. And then your cost goes to somewhere around $3 for a thank you card, as opposed to $125 for a thank you card.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah, so, and one more thing, if you're going to send it out yourself, and Barbados has a lot of people there too, I'm sure you have customers in Barbados. And for those that have customers in the US, I do something a little bit different. I buy these cards, thank you cards. Walmart, they sell 20 thank you cards for $4. 20 thank you cards for $4. That means you can buy, for less than $20, you could probably buy 100 thank you cards. And what I do is I also separately, if I wanted to send them Synergy brochures, what I do is I have blue envelopes, and I bought a box of 100 blue envelopes at Office Max. I can't remember, maybe $12, $13, but certainly it's just my these two things they'll get. So it's just my calling card. They see a blue envelope come in. It's all handwritten, as Dan says. It just says, this is something valuable. This is not junk mail. It's not different. I will open it up. And it's just ideas that have worked for me, and hopefully they'll work for you, because when you talk to the customers, they say, oh, yes, I remember it came in a blue envelope. Yeah, I got that. I got your magnet. Again, magnets are great because they'll put it on the refrigerator. You're right in front of them. They want to reorder. There's your number. There's everything. So you certainly, again, these are the $100 in elite rebate that you're getting to reinvest in your marketing strategy. So as your business grows, you get the elite rebates, reinvest it into your business, and it starts snowballing. Anything else on this, Dan?
No.
Okay,
Hello,
so-
if I may just interject, for Timothy's benefit, I just saw that the government last week, in fact, reintroduced mail internationally. So Tim, mail is going back out again.
All right. Thank you for
I
that.
didn't know that. Thank you very much.
So
Awesome.
Donald, are they sending it through bottles, tossed into the sea?
No, better than that.
All
Better
right.
than that.
Okay,
We've actually
good.
back up with the airlines.
All right, good.
Make sure it gets there faster.
Yes.
So Dan, I wanted to add this one slide here because this is something you and I are going to work on, because my commitment is to try to do a much better job in mastering my calendar year after year. And one of the things that we can plan to succeed is by mastering our time and mastering our dates. So as we identify how is it that we're going to approach our marketing strategy, whether you use YouTube, whether you're going to use social media, whether you're going to learn Zoom, put it down on your calendar, the dates that you're going to set that apart, and strategize how it's going to be. You fill it in for the year, your quarter, the month, and the day that you want to target for you to be able to learn that, and then work back and find out what days and what hours you're going to put in there to block out the time that you're going to take to grow your business, because we all have a lot of things to do. We have family, and by all means, I was telling my wife this morning, let me see your calendar so I could put it on mine, because I know my wife's priorities are different than mine, and she's blocking out certain times. And hopefully, if this COVID environment we have can go away, hopefully this year, she's wanting to go take another vacation. Well, I have to block out that time. I have a family. I have a son. He has events that he needs to have me block out. So that's important, but certainly you have the whole time. But if you let things blindside you, you're constantly going to be interrupted, and what that creates is excuses for us and I'll say us because I'm included, not doing the things we're supposed to do. So, Dan, any comments on this?
Yeah, the only comment that I have, David, is I agree with you everything except if you don't get hung up on being able to fill out your calendar for the year, because I mean that really requires people to really think through what they want to do, and sometimes um, that becomes a stumbling block. But
True.
definitely plan out your month. Plan out what you're going to do for the month of January. And then when you get to the end of January, plan out what you're going to do for the month of February and take it one month at a time. And then if you just take it in what I call a little bit easier bites to swallow, you're going to be much more successful in being able to plan to succeed.
Thank you, Dan. That's
Welcome.
very true. So this part is important for me also. Why? Because if you look at the guy who has a vision, yeah, he sees where he wants to go, and of course the guy has a cape on, or the guy or the girl, they know where they want to be. They want to put the cape on when they get to the finish line. They want to be able to say, I've got there. But a lot of times going back to the drummers, dreamers, or doers, if we can say it or we can dream it, but if we don't do it, it's a lot more difficult. But keeping your goals secret, I find, does more harm than good. So a lot of times you've got to be able to share your goals with an accountability partner. And of course, it could be your upline, it could be someone you trust, someone that you can meet with weekly or monthly, and find out where you're at with the goals you want to get to. What commitments have you made, and how close are you to the commitments? And that's not necessarily judging you, but giving you ideas and helping you understand maybe what is working and what is not working, so that you can refine and fine tune your approach and help you get to the finish line sooner. So that includes monthly or weekly review of your goals. And of course, when you do get there, celebrate it, share it, like the goal with my wife and the Mustang payments. That was a goal. And of course, I'm sharing it because it's a celebration, but certainly there's a lot more goals that we need to get to. And we want to be successful in sharing in the future. Dan, anything else to this?
Yeah, I would certainly suggest to people to do it on a weekly basis with your accountability partner. And part of it is the psychology of doing that, because when you have an accountability meeting with a person on a weekly basis and you've talked and you've discussed what you're going to do for the next meeting to have done by the next meeting, well, by having that on a weekly basis, that provides a level of what I call healthy pressure to get what you have committed to done, because you don't want to be the person who doesn't get their work done. I just from my experience in being in the health club business, when we have individuals in the health club business just do things on an individual basis, it's a lot easier for people to let themselves off the hook, so to speak. But if you set them up with another person that they can work with, and then they're accountable to each other, well, then it becomes, well, I don't feel like going to the health club today, but David's going to be there, and I'll be darned if I'm going to let him get there and not me. So I don't feel like going, but I'm going because I know David's going to be there, and I don't want to be the first one to drop out here. So that's a healthy aspect of having an accountability where you're responsible to someone other than yourself, because then you don't let yourself off the hook, because it's too easy to let yourself off the hook when we are only responsible to ourselves.
Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Any comments from anyone regarding this particular slide? Okay, great. So then we're wrapping it up, but one of the things that of course you added this particular slide, and I'd like you to talk to us about this particular slide.
Sure. We have these Saturday training programs, and no, everyone can't necessarily be on it live. That's why we record them. We put them out on Tuesdays in the newsletter. But we want to really equip you with the skills and the training and the resource and the knowledge and the marketing strategies to help you grow your cash flow and your residual income in 2021. And if there are people on today's webinar that you feel there's some things that you would like from a skill set standpoint, from a training standpoint, some resources that you feel would be helpful, either let us know today, in the Q&A at the end of our presentation, or send me an email. Everyone's got my email address. Send me an email, and that way we can begin to plan some of these things. And as I've shared, there's some things that I'll be doing from a YouTube video standpoint that I first want to make sure that the stuff actually works. What that means is I actually am able to produce a video faster than what I would do on my own, and be good enough quality, maybe even better quality than the stuff that I do. And if that's the case, then I want to take a Saturday and show you exactly how to use that system, because that can be a way that you could effectively market yourself through a large base of population through YouTube videos. It's how I've built my customer base.
Yeah, and just to say, Dan, that these resources, this weekly resource that we have here in our webinar, is designed to increase our skill sets by sharing specifically what you're talking about, new ideas, new tools that we can use to grow our business. So it's important that we take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, all of them are recorded and available on our Synergy family.
And you can always go to YouTube and type in the search bar for YouTube, Our Synergy Family, and you'll go to our YouTube channel and just click on videos, and every video that we've done on Saturday is up there.
Great. All right, so this is winding it up. Basically, the drummer will drum, the dreamer will dream, but the doer will make it happen. And, the Bible gives a good example of the ants. They're constantly moving. When an ant is not moving, typically it's dead. But it's alive because it's moving and it's in partnership with all the others. So you're not in this alone. We're not in this alone. I know I couldn't have done without the things I do without my partners, Dan and Judy and Bob and everybody that surrounds me, that encourages me and helps me. And so you're definitely not alone. We're here to help you and hopefully see you succeed beyond your expectations. So when you think you can't, guess what? You really can, because you've got partners around you that will be encouraging you. So this is the last slide, Dan. I just like to see if you have anything to say, Dan, and then we could open up for questions.
No, I appreciate your time with this, David. This is a collaborative effort. David did an excellent job putting most of the slides together, and it's nice doing these types of things together because, one, it does what we talked about. I was accountable to David. David was accountable to me. We talked, we discussed what we wanted to try and achieve for this Saturday. David put together some ideas, sent it to me. We reviewed it. I added to it, sent it back to him. He made some changes, sent it back to me. I made a few changes, sent it back to him. He made the final edits. And what you saw today is a collaborative effort. And that's how you can work from an accountability standpoint to produce a product that is good and is helpful and can be used, not just today, but this video, it's going to go up on the first page, the home page of Our Synergy Family. I'm going to replace the 2020 goal video with the 2021 goal video, which is today's video, because what we've shared is excellent. And if people implement, they're going to see results. So that's what I have to say, David.
Great, thank you. So I'll open it up for any final questions or comments you might have regarding this videos, or if no one has questions, and I'll take questions or comments in a minute. But if no one has questions, just know that after the webinar, if you have questions or you need help, there's always resources. I'm available, Dan's available, or we can point you in the path that will get you started as based upon our experience. Not to say that we've gotten where we want to be, but certainly we may have crossed the challenges that you're trying to cross yourselves. So feel free to reach out to us by email, by text, by phone call, and we're here to support you. So any questions or comments at the end here?
Comment coming in. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Timothy.
Just want to make one sort of hitchhike. My customers are American based because it's not economical to have online customer in Barbados.
Sure.
So my customers are American based and they just hook up to me from some kind of advertising or my Facebook or whatever. But I've got a few customers, but I cannot get the communication going.
Yeah, I'll
Thank
send
you
you.
very
I'll
much.
send you. I'll send you an email with regards to that, Timothy. So
Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
And have a good year.
We will.
Any more comments or questions?
Bob has a comment in the chat box. Took lots of notes. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year. Oh, he's on there. He's showing his lovely
Thank you, Bob.
face.
You're looking good, Bob.
You don't have you're muted, Bob.
You're also muted, yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. Happy New Year. Thanks so much, you guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
All right, so Happy New Year, everyone. Dan, I'll let you wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We don't have our schedule planned out for the rest of January, but you will get that on Tuesday's email, and we'll go from there. Thank you, David. Excellent presentation. Appreciate
Thank
you.
Dan. Enjoyed it. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you all. Happy New Year.
You're welcome. Bye-bye
Great
now.
presentation.
Bye.